Hello everyone and welcome to another game I played on PTCGO online, this time against Pooka from the Top Cut. This is part of Bad Deck Monday. So I just happened to catch him online. I don't know him personally, but I'm pretty sure all of you know who he is. So he starts off, he ends me, he benches a Tynamo, a Dratini, and he has an active Flip Teeny. I have a Reshiram, so I'm going to catcher it. Catcher Tynamo to try to get it knocked out to slow down his energy acceleration. I play a laser, put him to sleep and poison, and I'm going to Ultra Ball for a Darkrai. This is my Darkrai Lugia deck. So another not great deck, but still competitive, I'd say. And I get a Veer Bank, so hopefully I can get this Dynamo knocked out. I'm gonna Dark Patch onto Darkrai, and I'm going to Computer Search actually. Get rid of Reshiram and a Dark Energy to have a DCE on Reshiram so I can knock out Dynamo in one hit and prevent that energy acceleration. So this way I take a quick first prize, and he promotes Victini into the active spot. So now we see he evolves Dratini into Dragonair. This is his Dragonair Eelektrik deck. Dragonair has Dragonite has an attack that I think does 60 or 40 for each heads. You'll see it later when I zoom into it in the match. So he plays Ultra Ball, probably for another Tynamo. And yep, we see another Tynamo, and he benches it. But he can't really do much, so I'm going to actually repeat the process. I have another catcher, another laser, and I'm going to be able to just hit him for the knockout. But first I'm going to end, and I get a Sableye, another Dark Patch. I should play that, and I do, and attach another energy to Darkrai. And then attach one from the hand to Darkrai. So then I'm going to Outrage for the knockout. That's a second Dynamo I've taken out in 2 turns, which is a great start against any deck that uses Electric to accelerate. So here he promotes Victini. He's going to catcher up my Sableye to try to stall. Fortunately, I do have a Dark Energy in hand, so I can retreat it. But he finally evolves into Dragonair, and we see Hurricane Tail as the attack. It does 60 for the number of heads, and you flip 4 coins. So it's a very good attack, and when in combo with Flip Teeny. So I'm going to retreat up to Darkrai. I'm going to catcher up Dragonair, and I'm going to end. Here I get another laser. I'm going to poison Dragonite, and he is asleep. So I can Night Spear for 90 and hit Victini on the bench, and he's going to take 30 in between turns. So he has 30 left, I believe, but he manages to get a switch. He needs to do something, and he retreats back to Victini. So Dragonair is now in the active spot again, but he really needs to bench something to ensure that I can't knock both of his active or all his Pokemon out. And he does. We see a Zekrom go to the bench, and he's going to Juniper, discarding a few energies. In the process, he gets another Dratini, and he places that on the bench along with a Molga. So now there's no danger of me knocking out all his Pokemon in one hit. So he goes for the attack and only gets 2 heads, so he hits for 120, even after the Victini reflip. So now I get a Chorus and decide to play that. Here I'm going to attach a Dark to Reshiram just in case he tries to catcher stall, so I can retreat it for free, or more easily retreat it for free. And I'm going to take the knockout on the active Dragonite and on the bench Victini, so I get to take 2 prizes this way. Since his deck, I don't believe, has played any EXs yet, it's very much a slower going game to take prizes. So now he's going to promote Emolga and undoubtedly use Call for Family. It's just what he'll try to get, if he's going to try to get Eels back up, or if he's going to try to get an alternate attacker going. Let's see. Yep, so we see another Dratini and a Mewtwo. So that's his EX attacker for this And I'm going to Skyla for an Ultra Ball. I guess I want to start setting Lugia up just in case I need to just take the quick win with one non-EX prize, just by multiplying it by 2 with Overflow. So I get Lugia. I have, thankfully, a Colress machine in hand, so I can attach an energy from the deck, or a plasma energy from the deck, and I attach a DCE. Here I guess I'm just going to Night Spear, knock out Emolga, and hit Tynamo on the bench for 30. So now I've taken 5 prizes and my opponent has taken none. But if you're looking at the time, the match is far from over, so clearly Pooka manages to turn things around quite a bit. So we see the Tynamo evolve into Eelektrik on the bench, and a Zekrom go into the active spot. So he can't really accelerate much with only one Eelektrik, but what he does here is what really changes the game. He ends me down to 1 card, and it's not an energy, so he attaches to Mewtwo, and he Dynamotors to Mewtwo and switches, so that allows him to switch to Mewtwo, and he's going to be able to knock out my Darkrai, and I don't really have anything that can one-shot Mewtwo right now. If I promote Lugia, he's going to be able to easily take the knockout with the benched Zekrom just by switching out, because mine is weak to Eelektrik, or he can hit me for heavy damage because Lugia will have a lot of energy on it with Mewtwo. But first we see him use a Super Rod. He gets back a Dragonair, Tynamo, and an energy. We see another Tynamo on the bench, level ball for Dragonair. And will he attack? Yes, so he's going to X-Ball for 80. That's enough to knock me out, and I decide to go into a safe bet of Sableye to hopefully junk hunt for something, because that'll allow me to take the win by just knocking out anything if I can get a catcher. So I'm going to junk hunt for catcher. I think I also didn't play the DCE intentionally because I don't want him to be able to hit Lugia for a lot of damage with X-Ball. So that was a deliberate play on my part and not an oversight. So I'm going to go actually for the double catcher, because if he knocks out Sableye, I can just go into Lugia. If he doesn't knock it out, I can just retreat it manually, and I'll be able to take any knockout basically off of Eelektrik or Tynamo and Dragonair, I think, for the win. But let's see what my opponent does. So here, he really needs to start attacking Lugia, in my opinion, and he needs some way to get rid of my catchers. But we see him bench another Dratini, and he ends me yet again. So I'm down to 1 card once again, and this again is going to slow me down, so I no longer have the catchers I desperately needed, and he is able to evolve his Tynamo into another Eelektrik. So now he's going to be able to accelerate onto Zekrom, and that poses a huge threat to me because he can hit me for the knockout with 1 hit, well, Lugia that is, but he instead X-Balls me for 60. I'm going to, now I think, I'm still debating whether or not to attach the Plasma Energy. I just got onto Lugia because I'm 1 short of being able to attack, but I don't know if I want to tempt him to catcher it up and start X-Balling it and do heavy damage onto it. So here, I'm still debating whether or not to attach the energy. I know for sure I will junk hunt for something this turn, since I still have catchers in my discard. I ultimately, I guess, decide not to attach the Plasma Energy onto Lugia, but I'm going to junk hunt instead for, I believe this time, a catcher and a Hypnotoxic Laser. Since Veerbank City Gym has been out this whole time, I should be able to take the win by knocking something out on his side. And I think I can knock out almost everything on his side with a combination of laser and catcher. But that really depends whether or not he can take the knockout on Lugia right now, if he has a catcher. So again, we see my opponent waiting. I see that he has a damaged Eelektrik. It's probably the easiest thing to get rid of at this point, but I don't know if that's what I'm going to go after ultimately. And again, another N would be crucial for my opponent's play, just because he once again gets rid of my catcher and laser. So I'm waiting. And so this was actually streaming live. I found out immediately after, but I wasn't hearing anything because actually Pooka was not able to speak apparently. Some sort of tonsil surgery. So he's going to retreat into Zekrom and be able to hit me for 120 and do 40 to himself. Yep, so he retreats. He retreated his Mewtwo, which is a safe bet because that way he can accelerate back onto it and go for more damage. So now I'm going to catcher up Eelektrik and take the win this way. I don't even really need to do much, so I'm just going to hit it with Hypnotoxic, put it to sleep, and I don't have any way to retreat Darkrai, so I'm just going to attach the Plasma Energy finally to Lugia and get it ready in case I hit the Dark Energy on my next turn. So he flips for to wake up, and he does, but can he retreat? That's the big question. And it looks like he isn't able to, and I'm going to take the win. So once again, thank you guys for watching. Feel free to comment, rate, or subscribe.